My name is Luke Muller, and I'm a senior at Oklahoma State University, double majoring in plant soil science and agribusiness. This last summer, I conducted research on the use of soil moisture information in agricultural decision making and perspective from irrigators. So, the whole purpose of this research project was to hear from the farmers. Sometimes in academia, it's easy to come up with research questions and to start investigating those to find solutions or answers. But hearing from the producers and their concerns when it comes to water management and the adoption of technology is crucial, and the reason why we conducted this past summer. So, the beginning of the summer in June, we installed drill drop probes in producers' fields in two different counties in southwest Oklahoma, Harmon and Tillman County. These drill drop probes collected a variety of information, but the one that farmers focused on the most was the soil moisture that was in increments of 4 inches, taking those readings all the way throughout the soil profile and was readily accessible on their mobile devices for them to look at. And then at the end of the summer, we interviewed producers in both these counties, those who had the probes on their fields and those who did not. And so we wanted to see uh, what was what their hesitations were for adopting certain technologies like soil moisture probes into their operations, and what is a driving factor for a lot of their decision making. And so we collected quantitative data by having these interviews with an interview guide that I conducted, and then we transcribed those interviews and then took them apart into nodes, which were essentially topics that were common across the different interviews and what producers saw as concerns for us to have further direction when it comes to extension resources and research for producers when it comes to water management and how to look at that information, have that information available for them. So you'll see this word cloud here. Uh, the word cloud, the larger the word is the frequency in which it was mentioned throughout all the interviews. And so you'll see that water and no are the biggest ones. And no is particularly important for our case because um, it they talked about it in a variety of different ways, which we'll get into in this next slide. So when we talk about these concerns and turning them into applicable solutions, farmers are taking their past experience and the knowledge that they have garnered from being active in this field for making those decisions. It's not hardcore data. Um, and then also money. At the end of it all, the cost of the system can be prohibitive for some of these producers when margins are tight anyways. And so it wasn't feasible to work into their budget and make these pros to purchase them and to continue to use that subscription to have access to that data. And so as you'll see in this hierarchy chart, it talks about the different topics, and then underneath those topics is subcategories that these producers expressed when it comes to decision making, what they're reverting back to, and then their concerns when it comes to water and efficiency, uh, how they trained, and the temperatures that is involved in that. At the end of the day, when the biggest takeaway we took from all these different farmers is that a lot of them were tapping into or used wells and tapped into aquifers underneath in this regional area, and they didn't feel like there was a lot of monitoring of that system. Um, People pull out as many gallons as they want and continue to do so until they run dry, and they don't know when they will run dry. And so looking at and having that available of how close they are to running out of water and being able to monitor their use throughout the growing season would be essential for these producers.